Hello and welcome to Zeta Chivalry 2 Survivor Run. Today's map is Rudhelm and I'm playing with the Dane Axe as a defender. Defender's run is rather not complicated in this map unless you decide to be in the last stage the Duke. So that actually exacerbates the situation because you won't be able to retreat as much as a regular Duke. So this is a quick FYI before we go on. The Dane Axe itself is a very good and powerful weapon, very quick as well. Also deals a lot of damage when thrown. So immediately I can tell you that I won one duel against a knight. He was unlucky to point his back towards the spikes and he was insta-killed once I actually hit him. So don't stand next to spikes or else you might see the same fate. And yeah, so another thing in this stage that you should be aware of is actually the catapults that are landing. So it's actually based on luck most of the time, unless you can perceive and watch both catapults at the same time. I mean, if you're really unlucky, I mean, no amount of running will help you. So just, but it's actually first stage only. So basically, if you tried this on the first stage and you have not survived, do not despair, just join another time the same map and you might be more successful. So this is hit and miss. I cannot really tell you too much how to dodge catapult shots. Just, you know, see where catapults are landing and just go the other way. But again, this is also based on luck. So far, again, the defender's problem here is that you actually have to retreat quite, you know, earlier than anticipated, or you will be overwhelmed by the enemy. So now I threw 2 Dane Axes into the enemy and landed both the hits. So it can kill even a knight if you landed both of the Dane Axes. But one axe is not enough even to kill an archer. Otherwise, this is a very good spot where I can slug it out with enemies. No, not a bad knight. Does good feints. And also blocks my thrown weapon. Really nice duel, you see? Somebody says I'm not dueling. There you go, that was a duel. So really good fighter. This is the same knight who was unlucky to be facing spikes earlier. So again, 2 duels I won here against quite a skilled opponent as well. So just to let you know, a disclaimer, there will be more duels on this run. Dueling is stupid. I mean, when you are playing as in a survival mode, you basically give away all your advantages when you're dueling. But sometimes I feel confident that I can do it, so I do it. So the person I was dueling, he was good, but he was not like really awesome, like godlike. So I could duel him. It's fine. You know, sometimes if I would be unlucky, I could have died. But, you know, at the moment I'm feeling lucky, so I can engage him. But only against one. If he's with somebody else, I better watch out and not engage. Now this duel is, of course, I wouldn't count it as a duel because the enemy has not hit even once. He just defended and that was just stupid. Not sure what he was doing there. He landed with a catapult assist. And he was out of position, so also friendlies would have come and saved me if necessary. Another duel against the Messer. Skilled opponent. So this is already 2 guys who are quite skilled here in duels too. And he died. Anyway, he's also good, but not godlike. I would rate that Pangaea is actually a bit better than Zico, but Zico is not really half bad as a dueler. Again, levels might be misleading when you're judging an opponent or a fellow player by his skills by level, because if he played duels mostly or FFA, his score would not be as high as somebody's who played mostly team objective, because in team objective you do get a lot of points just for doing sometimes the objective, sometimes destroying something, and so on. So if you want a quick level, you can go to a server with bots and train there, a TO with bots. you'll get a lot of points. But that again will not reflect your skills, because if you do only duels and only FFA, your low skill would still mean that you're a very good fighter if you train most of that. So if you want to go and jump in those servers and try it for yourself, and then come here and sometimes in team objective show what you have learned. Now, yeah. So again, there are 2 good players on my team. Let's see if we find more of them. But other than that, I relatively successfully retreated towards this objective. So how this works, I used the forward spawn. So once I saw the objective is taken, I just went as fast as I can into the enemy spawn, and then I was suggested to do a forward spawn. If I would have stayed next to the walls outside, I would have to slug it out through all enemies and get up from the siege tower. So that is the only other way I could have gotten into the objective. The other way, okay, one more way there is, I could join the spectators, and usually defenders team enjoys less players, so my spot would not have been taken, and then I could rejoin the defending team. So that's another trick, but I usually don't try to abuse it too much. Forward spawn is fine, but spectator back to team is not a fine mode. I don't like to do it this way. I consider it not really a bit gamey. It still works, perfectly legal, I mean, but a bit gamey. Again, gatehouse, a bit hairy situation, but I know I can always retreat back. When I say back, I can go downstairs, and then I'm shielded from the praying eyes of the enemy archers. And I also can quickly heal myself there in relative safety, because usually attackers do not go down until the objective is taken. And I was able to score a few kills. Now Zico, this is Zico. Yeah, I can see his messer, which is actually not just simple messer, but very distinguishable skin. He died there, but he's a good player, from what I can tell, and his skins and a lot of feints. But again, you know, I pick duels where I can, and this time it was not a place to pick a duel with him, because there were just too many enemies around. Yeah, so now also you saw quite early retreated back to the objective, and this is a theme when you're playing defenders. The idea that you have to go back sooner than you think. I mean, you can go forward again if everything's fine. So now this is not short, it's not a duel. I'm fighting against 3 enemies. Always dispatched of 1, and then another joint. Again, I'm almost really healthy, but really lack stamina due to the thing that I actually jump to when I try to defend, just to put the enemy off guard. But that also means that I'm losing stamina quicker than I should. And this way, that means that I need to go back and reset. And this is basically, I have created a video for engagement ABC guide. So for anyone who wants to think like me when engaging. Now see, I see there will be a losing battle fighting all those enemies. So instead I try to retreat it back and reset. Now I'm low on health, but I can do counters, no problem. You see my stamina is fine because I did only counters, I did not jump. So now I do the reset stage where I try to heal and get all the bandages. And after reset stage I go back into plan and scan and plan. So I saw the lonely enemy here who actually threw the torch, but unfortunately I was not able to hit him quickly enough. An enemy hit me, so he actually cancelled my healing. But that's fine, I was close to the friendlies. Now here I don't need to reset, but I cannot go inside the, you know, into the fight against 5 enemies. Here I'm still counting how many enemies there are. So this is Zika. Yeah, against so many, I mean, even a good dealer is not worth much. And here when I hit from the back, it's even less chances to survive. So now the objective again has moved. I'm not even trying to fight there or delay the enemy, I'm just retreating as fast as I can. And now from here I can again assess the situation during the scan and plan phase. So now I see there's much more enemies here than there are friendlies, so I would rather not risk here. Yeah, it takes some patience and not to be hot-headed and not to, you know, to want to exact some revenge on the enemy. Yeah, you need to plan your moves accordingly. So again, enemy shows behind and he gets hit immediately. So really quick engagement. An enemy did not even have chances, and I didn't even need to go into the reset stage because I was already safe. And here, 3 friendlies left, so they're of course bloody and probably without stamina. But now I see that our friendlies are being overpowered by the enemy, so instead I retreat back. Because it's not the place to fight. Because I could not plan a successful attack where I could retreat back into safety unscathed. And if I do not retreat unscathed, that means that I'm risking it too much. Here also, here a situation, you have to always look who's mounting the ballista. If that's enemy, that's really bad, and you should not, and you forget about going through this space at all. So always double check who's mounting the ballista. Quite a few runs ended by the ballista guy. I mean, ballistas are OP, you should know already if you watch my channel. Okay, again, I don't find the opening, so instead I rather just run around and do some trolling. Okay, this is Weber. He's a good dueler too. But I'm not sure if I want to do more dueling. I'm out of stamina. Now I'm not sure what happened. I threw my Danax and probably won't be able to find it. But instead of finding it, I'd rather go and heal and replenish my HP. And also all the items I need from the ammo crate. So I don't have a second Danax. And unfortunately, I think I saw it being thrown really far away, but it doesn't matter so far. So this is Weber again, a third guy who is actually very good. So I'm low on HP, so can't really duel. But yeah, quite a few players here are quite good. So need to be careful, not to be taken into, you know, disadvantage. There would be 2 enemy people like that. I'll definitely lose. And now my hit was blocked by the friendly who was standing next to me, and my hit did not land, so enemy could not. Enemy's attack was not cancelled. So yeah, fighting with more friendlies against the enemy, I mean, sometimes it is tough. So when things happen, especially when enemy has the active parry, so really need to be careful when engaging those. It's best to do if you have a long weapon, so you can do it from the relative safety. But other than that, try to surround it from 2 sides, 2 opposite sides only. So the enemy would be always thinking whom to hit and from whom to defend. So this is important. But that comes with experience. Duelers do not know it, because they don't usually play this way. They usually play duels, when they see the opponent, they know what to block and so on. But in TO we have to know and defend from multiple sources, from multiple sides. Really good feint into block, really good, so well done. You can already appreciate, you know, that each kill here is quite difficult to achieve. Well, not this one, of course, but the enemy was probably attacking. And active parry also blocks thrown weapons, except the barrel, of course. Barrel is unblockable, unless you have a shield. So regarding the Highlander sword, it's not really that good. I know it gives a lot of damage, I mean, relative. You can say a lot, but it's actually relative, not that really much more than Greatsword, but Greatsword is much faster. Of course it has additional reach, but I do not like it too much. I play sometimes, but only for you guys. For me, I don't really like the Highlander sword. And yeah, fair enough, it's not a popular weapon as well. So only very few guys who wants to feel like in anime, they do use that sword. Other than that, normal guys, duelers and so on, they don't. They know that it is not an effective weapon. So I again retreated earlier than usual. Now on this stage, a defender also poses additional risk for defender, because there is a ballista that will switch sides from friendlies to enemies. And usually it's enemy who mounts it. So you should not stop moving. So that's the only thing I can tell you. You of course can hide behind the objective, but then you won't have too much fun. Unless you're an archer, so your job is to hide. Now very good distance calculation. And we were able to dispatch the enemy. But other than that, it's still... Oh yeah, so this is an ambusher. So one thing I'm afraid of is not the knights, but actually ambushers who can sneak up and insta-kill you with one hit. So yeah, this is my sort of... I think the ultimate assassin is the ambusher. So yeah, I don't like them. I mean, I have to play very carefully when I see those. Also, they do deal a lot of damage when with thrown weapons, thrown daggers. So yeah, ambushes is like really hard to deal with. And if they are good in duels, well, that's even worse. Because with big weapons, two-handed weapons, you can see how it's, you know, how the weapon is moving. But with small weapons, you have split second to react, because usually short weapons are faster. But also, they're smaller, so it's less pixels for you to react on. Less pixels and less frames. So yeah, that's why they're challenging. But there are some challenges of using the one-handed weapons too. Fast weapons is usually they're very short, have short range. And that means that you have to be very close and personal to the enemy, and also not so easy to land hits. So yeah, this is duel, not the duel, but two enemies who are quite good. Were trying to give a go at me, but again my position was very good. I stood next to the incoming spawn wave of friendlies, so I just had to persevere there for a bit, and that's it. Now the whole mass of friendlies took care of the rest, the numbers of the friendlies. The map is actually already going on for quite a long time. Usually, no, it's 18 minutes. Usually, I mean, a fast run would be done in something like sub 20 minutes, sometimes 15 to 18 minutes. But this is already past that, because we're still not even in the last stage. So that means that defenders are doing a good job, and I'm not praising me, I'm praising the team. Because again, you see, I'm just calculating, I'm not standing on objective too much. If possible, I try to retreat. And now I lost my Danax. But luckily, there are plenty to go around. Whiffed my Danax shot, but I also saw another Danax on the ground. So not a problem. I pick them up and go back to the fight. Danax are harder to land than barrels. Barrels actually has a bigger hitbox, but that also means that you land usually hits on friendlies more with barrels too. Now I'm not going up on the podium, mainly because I see the ballista is there, and ballista usually shoots at the objective because it wants to score kills, and if there are so many of masons on this podium, then basically it will shoot there. So that's a risk, you cannot clump up. Now the last stage. So if I were to want to play as the hero, then the chances of me survival actually lessen. The main reason, of course, the hero does deal, sort of takes more punishment, But this particular hero is sort of not as good as, for example, Argon, because it has a normal weapon, whereas Argon has an overpowered weapon. So this is the difference. This Heir, or the Duke, not really sure who he is, but he does not possess more damage dealing than normal guy. But he can take a punishment. He's not again as beefy as Argon, but he is okay. He has more HP. It's okay. So now this particular place, Argon would already have been suggested to go back into the map. But for me it's not out of bounds because I'm a regular dude. So if you want to survive on this map as a defender and as melee, take a normal dude, even if you're on top of the scoreboard. It does help for survival. It's only true for this map actually. On others it's not really much difference. Another duel. Skilled DNX user. Of course, I'm not here playing much. Retreating because I feel like he's doing really well. But he also landed an axe on me. Let's see. Not really sure if I can call it duel. Okay, so the duel is won. Again, very good player. And a good duel. So quite a few duels here in this run. Of course, it's not like I wanted this duel, it's just I had nowhere to retreat. And unfortunately, Friendly Wave did not spawn on this side. They rather spawned on the other side. It's alright, I still persevered, but it was really, no, I won by a thread. Several hits did not land from the enemy, but mine also did not land. It's okay. The duel was won, but it was, you know, with some luck, I think, the duel. So I already saw 3 good players who were very good in duels. Actually, no, that's 4 players, sorry. So yeah, any of those, in other circumstances with more luck, they could have taken me out without a problem. But I'm lucky in this run. So now, after facing really good players, I'm in the dilemma whether or not I proceed in scoring more kills, or you know, play safely and protect the Heir instead of going gung-ho into the enemies. Now here, for example, I can assist, but other than that, I don't really like to play too risky on the last stage of the map if I survive for this long. So again, quite good. Still 1 minute and a half left. So the Heir is doing really well too. So again, team is quite good for defenders, even though that enemy team has a lot of good players too. So overall, probably a very well matched game. Now I have the higher ground, but still it does not deliver any more damage than usual. Now I was able to drag behind the enemy, and that's how the hit went through his block. So 1 minute left. So far we're defending the Heir pretty well. Again, trying to play for objective, but it's also helpful if I'm next to the Heir. That means that I'm actually, you know, surrounded by more friendlies, and that helps in survival too. Again, engineers are doing really well. They're putting the boards up. That slows down the enemies considerably. And we can also go on now into final assault, because there's only 20 seconds left. Was hit in the back. Whiffed my throw. So all in all, I really enjoyed this run with so many duels. I scored 33 kills, we won this map, and also I had a lot of fun. So thank you for watching, see you next time, and happy holidays, whatever you are celebrating.